Hello. In this video, we're talking about how to price your comics. What are your comics worth? Um, the best site, especially if you know what you have, know what series you have, you can look up whether or not it's worth something using Key Collector. So you're going to want to go to keycollectorcomics.com. I'll have that link down in the description as well. But you can track, interesting details such as first appearances. The search function is very powerful. You can search titles of books based on different volumes. You can search key books for certain characters. There's different categories, as well as searching artists, publishers, and writers. So if you're looking for a particular variant by a particular artist, you should be able to find it. And more or less, this is a very powerful tool. In addition to that, you'll want to cross reference other sources as much as possible, right? My Comic Shop is an okay site just to see, what's available on the market. There's Go Collect. And a paid service is GPA. But obviously, I'm talking here if you're not looking for a paid service, if you're just have a few books and just want to know general ballpark about what prices for books are. You can see here, Go Collect. It has not only price data, fair market value price data, it also tracks when the last sale was, as well as the CGC census counts. You can see here there's a total of 112 copies of this book, as well as 9 copies that were all signed 9.8s. In addition, obviously, this is the most commonly used one is eBay sold search. A lot of times you'll see people talking about it online, check eBay sold search, sold listings. Similar idea. It's a more real-time look at things for the most part, but what you will want to be wary about is shill bidding and tons of other funky stuff on eBay. But you can see, you can cross reference it with the other sites as well and see, I'm a very big proponent of checking out the auction prices. You can see here this book, the second print of this cover, had 26 bids. It ends up being a little over $240 all in. But meanwhile, what's available on the market, there's only one other CGC 98 available, and now the seller has priced it at $850. What you will want to be careful about these price guides and tools, even if it's a paid service, they might not be up to date right away. Some are slower to update than others, and some don't necessarily update at all. So that's something to be aware of. And at the end of the day, it's very important that you do your own research. Someone will tell you something, but you need to go and search on eBay, search on Go Collect, Key Collector yourself to see what's really going on. And at the end of the day, if you're selling books on your own, you will ultimately get the most bang for your buck in terms of getting something cleaned and pressed and graded for the maximum return. Just a small note here, when buying books, obviously, what is listed and shown here isn't necessarily the fair market value. A lot of the times, what you will find on eBay, as well as other marketplaces, whether it's, maybe even at conventions, right? But at conventions, you tend to be able to haggle more. But this is just a small note, especially just on this, because I have this book. This second print, okay, this was originally a $20 book. This is an Unknown Comics Virgin variant reprint. So while it has the same contents inside, it is a second printing and it is a different color splash Virgin variant cover. But this was originally a $20 book, and I've sold a couple copies of this myself for $40 and so. But, now because of as time goes on, this is not that old. Looking back on the date, 2019, this is only a 2-year-old book, right? It just so happens that right now there also is a signing for Miko Suyan that's going on. But, when buying these expensive books, you want to be very careful and you have to really like that cover and really like that artist. $250 for this regular first print cover is an okay buy. In my personal opinion, there's still some meat on these bones, so to speak. 250 is an okay buy, especially if there's potential for, the Agents of Atlas to become something on Disney Plus, or for this character, which has a first appearance in the book, Wave, gets a, movie, a MCU appearance or cameo or something like that. Because, eventually the MCU will have to expand more internationally to capture other audiences, especially in Asia, starting with Shang-Chi and stuff like that. But these books are not necessarily what they are worth, but ideally. But if you're going to buy it, you want to be smart about it and do your own research and figure out what's the origin of this book or of this variation of this cover, and see what the price guides tell you, and see, what the current state of the market is. For certain books, after time goes on, it reaches a plateau of how much it can really be worth. You know, Obviously the legacy characters, the Avengers, the Spider-Mans, the Captain Americas, all those first appearances, will hold up over time. But if you're buying this, hoping to make a big investment, this investments might not pay off until decades later on down the line, which, may or may not, you may or may not still be here. And you may not be alive to be able to appreciate and recognize those gains. And I'm not saying, you should only be in it for a short, quick flip. But, if you're invested in something long term, really take the time to be sure and think it over and think it through. And I like this cover, at $250, to get that signed, even if it came back, a 9.6, I'd still be okay with that because I think it's a cool cover. It's pretty colorful and whatnot. But anyways, that's all I got to say about as far as pricing your comics. As always, feel free to leave a comment and ask any questions below, and I'll try to get back to you as soon as possible. Thanks for watching.